All right, we're here with head coach Renee Luers-Gillispie. The Knights making the NCAA tournament for the fourth time in program history, and for the fourth time we'll be going to Gainesville. Coach, I know it was a nervous Sunday night in the selection show, but you got in. Give me your thoughts as you were watching that.
A little nerve-wracking at first. You know, they showed the Gainesville bracket as one of the last brackets up. So, 45 minutes into it and seeing the other teams that are going in it, you were a little anxious to find out if you were still in it. We saw Houston getting selected early on, heading to Texas. We saw a couple of the teams that UAB, some of the other teams that's in our conference get in it, and it was a little nerve-wracking, but it was exciting once we saw our name up there, and knowing that we're going to be in there with South Florida as the first round was a very exciting time for us.
Yeah, once again, South Florida, we're familiar with them. Haven't played them since 2008, but you'll play them this year, and then you're going to play them next year. You had it actually scheduled to play them next season. Then Big East Conference plays, so you're going to get used to playing South Florida more now.
Right. We're looking forward to being able to see them again. They've got a great squad this year with Sarah Nevins as their main pitcher this year. She's doing a great job for them. Winning a lot of games for them. We're pretty excited about going up against her in the first round and just preparing to have a good game. Our last 4 games of the season weren't as sharp as we would like them to be, and we're working hard this week to kind of solidify some things that we need to for the game on Friday.
This was a young team going into the season. If I would have told you before the year made the NCAA tournament, I know that's your expectations, but there was a lot of questions before the year. You have a freshman pitcher, you had a freshman left fielder, a freshman second baseman. It's a pitching staff that hadn't thrown a pitch in Division I level. Now here you are making the NCAAs.
Yeah, it's nice to see that one of our seniors had the leadership to get us back there. That's huge with Vanessa and Natalie that was there in 2010, and Tani that was there wasn't playing that year, but she was with us that year in Gainesville. And to see that they're getting these kids back. And the freshmen really worked hard. They are very anxious about getting that postseason bid. They understood from the very beginning of the season that was our goal, is to get in the top 64. And from there, everything opens up for you. Everything's a new opportunity in the postseason. So they knew that we really had to work hard, and getting those 39 wins to get us into that bid, into the top 64 was huge. So I think they're ready. I think they're it was exciting for them to hear them how they were watching the selection on Sunday, and to see the reaction on realizing they're one of the top 64 teams right now in the country.
Tell me about Natalie Land in particular. She grew up close to Gainesville, obviously. Family went to Florida. Her uncle played at Florida. I mean, now it's kind of a full circle for her. Tell me about recruiting her and how you got her to come to UCF instead of Florida there.
I'm very fortunate in a lot of ways. She was actually looking to go basketball her senior year, and it wasn't until late going into her senior year that she decided that she would reconsider softball, and we did a nice job of staying on her and keeping her interest in UCF. So when she came back around thinking that she wanted to go to college and play softball, Jerry Shepard up in Jacksonville got on us right away and said that she's looking that direction now, and was able to get us in the door to bring her down to UCF. And she just fell in love with it. Being from Mayo, Florida, she's got all kinds of fans that's going to be up there at Gainesville. I think all of Mayo will be out there for this game on Friday and Saturday. So we're looking forward to having a good crowd with Natalie leading the troops.
It's her and Vanessa were the only 2 players that played in the 2010 regional. This is first time for a lot of players. Kiana Terry, our beloved manager, was there in 2010. You and I were in the regionals in 08 and 2009. Obviously, you were here in 05 as well. Unfortunately, I was not. The other guy that was with you, he's in LSU now. Point being is there's not a lot of people around that have been to a regional, and that's going to be a new experience, even though we've been to Gainesville before. For a lot of these girls, it's their first time.
Right, and for our seniors, I think for them it's understanding that it's one game at a time. Being through in the 2008 regionals, it was tough because we had to face Florida again. We ended up in the finals with Florida and actually beating them in the first round, but having to play a back-to-back game because we had 1 loss and they had no losses going into that championship game, and that was a tough loss for us. That was a time when I felt like with Allison Kime on the mound, she could have gotten us into super regionals, got our next step that we haven't reached yet. With this year, we got Mac on the mound and Allie on the mound. I think with the 2 combinations of those 2, they can take us far into regionals. But it goes back to playing well, playing that first game out, being able to put everything on the field that we can, and having the best outing that we can. it's all been set up for this one moment, and Vanessa and Natalie, they understand what it takes to get into regionals. I think they're sharing that with the players right now.
Well, Coach, we'll catch up with you again in Gainesville when we arrive for the NCAA tournament. Until then, we'll see you then.
Sounds good.